Last time I first party.
For those of you that haven't seen the last episode, don't feel bad. You didn't really miss much. All we really had was a lot of talking, and talking. And a little bit of Sachiko at the very end, but that's about it. Other than that, we're gonna start talking.
Now let's continue where we left off.
Sup, Legendz, GMJ here. Welcome back to another Corpse Party episode. To lose a loved one was a fate she feared more than anything else, so she tried to offset it through black magic. It was an act of truly abused foolishness. She must have cared for him so deeply she could have literally done anything to save him again, no matter the cost of her own immortal soul. Aiko stared deeply into my eyes, seemingly fishing for a reaction to her tale. But then, what happened next was almost beyond belief. I continued to listen, unknowingly stroked the wounds on my thick as unpleasing memories of my own foolish run-in with black magic resurfaced? Whatever. The Shinozaki blood that flowed through Yoshi's veins was more powerful than anyone could have known. Its energy spawned something much different than what Yoshi intended. By which, of course, I mean... Gasp. What is it, woman? I instantly knew what she was going to say. From the book, she created a new nirvana. There, one could coexist with the dead for all eternity. It was a new dimension cut from the netherworld itself, forcibly born up onto the world of the living. Yoshi must have lost half her sanity right there. She tried to leave her only child Sachiko in the real world, while living with her husband's soul in a new nirvana. The land of corpses. However, this nirvana had a mind of its own. Yoshi couldn't possibly control it. Shinozaki or no. I don't get it. I knew that all too well. Just like Yoshi, I had experienced my own tragic failure with black magic at the Shinozaki clinic. Black magic has its own blowback of sort. Her husband's soul was split apart and scattered in all directions, and Yoshi's life, too, was on the verge of being snuffed out. She knew she had a mistake. She deeply regretted it, and as she took what she could have only assumed to be her dying breath, her sole daughter, Sachiko, in possession of a nearly limitless spiritual potential, absorbed the entirety of the new nirvana into her body. Sachiko! And that's why Sachiko is a crazy woman. The poor girl collapsed to the floor, violently thrashing about at the weight of an entire dimension crushed her from the inside. This action had saved her mother's life, certainly, but death wouldn't have surely been preferable. Picking herself up, Yoshi rushed to her daughter's side in tears. Sachiko! Why? Cough. Mommy! Don't die, Mommy! Sob. Both parent and child were bawling, pain mixing with relief, mixing with pain again. Sob. The little girl buried her face into Yoshi's bosom and just cried and cried. Yoshi grasped her tightly in both arms, tears streaming down her face uncontrollably. By the point, Sachiko's body had begun producing a dark blue aura. I'm sorry, Sachi. I'm so sorry. Mommy was wrong. Mommy has you. So from now on, Mommy will never leave you. She'll never even think of leaving you again. Sob. As you know, Sachiko is a direct descendant of the Shinozaki line, a thoroughbreed. This means her power is greater than Yoshi's. It had to be, of course, for her to house an entire dimension within her body. Aiko took a big noisy sip of her coffee mug. At the time, she must have been the strongest practitioner of dark art in all the world, little girl or no. Yet, despite that, she wound up dying. That's right. The same way Yoshi fell and died. Sachiko disappeared. That was 50 years ago now. They were both killed by the principal? Just as I suspected. The principal Hinoi's actions are to blame. Then, for resurrecting the new Nirvana within Sachiko and created the closed spaces we know as Heavenly Host Elementary. It's probably because the school was the site of Sachiko's violent demise that her Nirvana took on its form. Yet, even then, with Sachiko reborn as a spirit in that realm, she was still all-powerful, seeming continuing to exert complete control over it. I guess that's why she was able to manifest so many different horrible things in there. That was all starting to make me sick, sort of sense. The pieces were falling into place and painting an absolutely awful picture. I shuddered to myself as I considered it. When you escaped, you removed Sachiko from the equation, but the Nirvana remains and is going berserk once more. It should have just disappeared. The world would be better off without it. Damn right. This entire conversation was a roller coaster of emotions for me. At this point, I was just angry at everyone involved in the whole ordeal, myself included. Now then, if I may, I'd like to discuss something a bit outlandish with you. Okay. Would you like to see your dead friends again? Yeah, that's probably going to be a yes, but I doubt it. That certainly got our attention. We both perked our heads up immediately. Spirits that have died in the Nirvana are said to roam its ground, trapped and unable to find rest. As such, your friend's soul may still exist on that plane. Triple dots. There are actually a number of useful magics listed in the Book of Shadows. My God, I hope this game has a happy ending and everybody comes back alive, even though I know that ain't gonna happen. Everyone's gonna die again. Aside from the spell Yoshi used to create the new Nirvana, there's also a spell of revival. I call BS. Nakashima and I knew about that one all too well. Forcefully returning a life to this plane is, of course, dreadfully taboo, as it's considered an affront to the will of gods by virtually all religious organizations. Huh? Kishinuma seemed a bit more confused than he probably should have been, though I suspected the look on my face may have had something to do with that. Triple dot. I'd performed that spell, the very one Aiko was describing. It took hours, failed miserably, and killed my sister. All at once, the guilt returns. I lowered my head solemnly. Aiko grinned at me, and I had the sinking suspicion it was because she somehow knew what I was thinking, though I couldn't be sure, and I certainly didn't know how she would. Still, who cares about bullshit like that, right? You can be blasphemer, you can break every commandment, bring it on. You'll do whatever it takes to resurrect your dead friends, no? All you have to do is find that book and cast the spell once more within Heavenly Host Elementary. your chances of success would be much, much higher there, don't you think? Nope, because if we did it, what happens is we do that stupid spell, we get killed, and this time, because we're in Heavenly Hosts, nobody will save us. Hold on. Do you have any idea what you're saying? What happens if things get even worse? I didn't exactly mean to interrupt Kishinuma, but quite honestly, I didn't even realize he was talking. I was too focused on what Aiko had just said. You know about it, don't you? Our failed attempt at Yoshi's place, me and Nakushima. Heh. Oh, damn, how does she know, man? She's a spy. Aiko tilted her head at me, the same wry smile creeping across her face. She gone from cold and emotionless to knowing and expression in a mere instant. I don't think we really believe what was happening to us. It was like a dream. What we saw was impossible. What we experienced was impossible. I thought I was going insane. It should have been possible. We should have done it. I want to put all of this behind me. But it was real. Aiko pointed at the scars on my neck that went one step farther and lightly brushed it with her hand. Ouch. I could feel that touch deep within my soul. I suddenly found myself swallowing my next breath, practically choking on thin air. See? You came in contact with something ordinary people would never even imagine. Do you really think you can just turn tails and run from that now? I would if I was her. I looked down again, trying my best to avoid Aiko's gaze. Do you really think I can do it? You can do it! When had I started crying? I raised my head again, intent upon looking deep into Aiko's eyes as she answered my question, but she looked so blurry through my tears. I could tell, though, that she was smiling at me. It was that same expression, her new standard. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Can you be more specific? Can I? Really? Yes. What is it? I want to hear you say it. What exactly it is that you wish to accomplish. Can I bring everybody back? Hee. Nicely done. What's up with the music thing? Aiko patted my head. At one might a dog after a successful performed trick. What the grimoire produce are miracles, spawned from the wisdom of the witches, and these miracles hold the power to bend fate. Even if that fate is set in stone, so to speak. You are a descendant of the House of Shinozaki, a family of immensely powerful practitioners of magic, and since Hinoi is no longer with us, this is something only you can do. My confidence was being bolstered by the minute, though in retrospect, that was likely Aiko's aim. Nonetheless, if there were still something I could do for my friends. But wait, I don't even know what the Book of Shadows is anymore. Plus, you're no longer able to travel to Heavenly Hosts by way of the Sachiko and the Ever After ritual. Now that Sachiko is gone, correct? Yeah, that's right. What? That's what Yuki said. That's her name, Yuki. Anyways, Yuki Kano, a girl from the school. Hehe. Aiko once again placed a bluish-white magatama stone from the box in either hand, this time fitting them together, though not quite the way they were supposed to interlock. That's where these come in. What are they? They house an exponential amount of spiritual energy, as one would expect, given that they're spirit items from the Shinozaki line. The voice I heard told me about them. They're called Ever After Stones. Ever After Stones? I leaned forward despite myself. The name sent a shiver down my spine, but now that I'd heard it, I had to know more. These two are one. Fit them together like puzzle pieces and chant Nirvana. I summon the dead, and all who are in direct and indirect contact with them will be spirited away. We both flinched at her chant, but Aiko just smiled. She must have intentionally orientated the stones the wrong way so the charm wouldn't activate. It's the same when you return. She tossed the stones she'd been holding in her right hand into her left, where it clashed together with the others. Strange, isn't it? This girl taught me the technique herself. Aiko gazed longingly at the stone. She was clearly, utterly enamored by them. It seemed as if they were the key factor to unleashing her new form of emotionless expression. But my focus were elsewhere. Without a doubt, the items Aiko now holds in her left hands were extraordinarily dangerous, possibly the most dangerous, horrific objects in the entire world. However, Jesus Christ, can I play the damn game? While Aiko was ogling them with her left hand, her right was feeling around for something in her breast pocket. She slowly removed it, produced an old black and white photograph. When had she taken that? It was the same photograph I've seen at Makina Shinozaki's house the previous night. It depicted a young Yoshi alongside her mother and Makina. When Yoshi was in her teens, she odired her aunt Makina and would often go over to her place for a visit. The Shinozaki family, world famous for their spiritual abilities, and this was when it was all started. The surviving elder of the Yagura society felt it was too dangerous to leave these items within the merchabus, so he came here intending to steal the Book of Shadows away from them. But he felt it would be even more dangerous for the book and the stones to remain together. So while he gave the book to Yoshi for safekeeping, he gave the stones to Makina. Question mark. Yoguri Society. Mortibus, I've never heard these terms before at all. And then there was a damn Book of Shadows again. Why did that have to keep coming up? You removed Sachiko Shinozaki from the school, and in doing so you created the perfect storm of opportunities. Two-way travel to and from the dimension is now possible. It's no longer a one-way road. A new spiritual hotspot, something not of the world, has been born. She thrust that ever after stone towards me triumphantly and continues to make her pitch, growing more excited by the second. I was legitimately speechless. What could I say? Triple dots. Don't you see? That place is a gold mine. People can no longer claim the world of spirits is fake, or the supernatural investigation like myself are lying. It's all different now. Occult research can be legitimized. I'm even considering bringing people to that cursed dimension in tours if I can. It makes a little extra cash. What? Kishinuma and I both reacted to this preposterous suggestion with a stare. She couldn't possibly be serious, could she? I've deleted the proxy dial data from Naho's blog, so no one will be able to jump that way anymore. Only I possess the means to enter that place now. Hee. What could she possibly have been thinking? I wanted to stop her at once. I wanted to take those stones and break them right there on the spot before anyone else got hurt. But when I began conducting these tours, however, I want to make customer safety my top priority. And you seek your friend's spirits, do you not? Well, reinvestigate that dimension could help you reach that goal. Our destinations are the same, Ayumi. Aiko leaned in as she spoke, her breath scented with the surgery sweetness of the extravagant dessert we'd been eating. Tickled my nose. So what do you say? Let's go back to Heavenly Host Elementary together. No more time. One more time. Shall we? I really wanted to conduct tours using a paper dowel, but missing my chance now, though I have these lovely stones. I feel this must be fate, and I can make a business of it. Aiko seemed like she was on top of the world, but that just made me all the more disgusted with her. So how about it? On the other hand, she was offering me a chance to save our lost friends, and however remote that chance may have been, it stacked the odds frustratingly in her favor. I still couldn't just say yes, but I also couldn't say no. Honestly, I resented Aiko for putting me in this position. I glared at her for a moment before I said anything. I can't answer that right now. Give me some time to think about it. Think it over. I'd almost forgotten Kishinuma was there. Suddenly waved off. Guilt washed over me. He had an absolutely incredible look on his face. I couldn't bear to see it, so I looked away. We don't know where the Book of Shadows is anyways. Plus, how do we know these stones can actually do what you say they can? There's no way you could have already tried it, though. Aiko smiled. She orientated the two stones so they'd form a perfect yin-yang symbol, then slotted them together once again. Immediately, the stones began glowing with a blush white hue, and the stream of energy started to form around her. What the? You've got to be kidding me! Aiko continued smiling and looking directly into my eyes. Heh, no need to decide now. Think it over? Yes, it's true. The full range of these stones' powers has yet to be tested, so there's true danger as if yet undetermined. She slowly separated the two stones as she said this, and the energy surrounding her dissipated. Uh-oh. But they form the home of Makina Shinozaki, a prominent branch of the Shinozaki tree. They're authentic, and the credible of my intelligence is hard to dispute. Confusion? Hell of a thing. Can I see them? Kishinuma didn't wait for an answer. He grabbed the Ever After stones from Aiko's hand and began examining them carefully. Hard to believe this is what was in that box. You weren't planning on keeping these stones all to yourself, were you? Aiko seemed taken aback by the questions. Way to go, Kishinuma. You managed to catch her off guard. Half the credit for finding them is due to Shinozaki risking her skin, after all. Aiko seemed to ponder these words for a moment. Well, then let's make sure neither of us can go by ourselves. We'll each keep one of the two stones. Sounds good to me. Alright. Give me one, Kishinuma. Sure thing. Kishinuma plopped one of the stones in my hands, then slipped the other back into the drawstring pouch Aiko had brought them in and closed it up. There. He had casually handed the pouch back to the rightful owner. Feel free to give me a call anytime you like, and don't worry, I'll even help you find the Book of Shadows free of charge. Aiko flashed us the biggest, most gregarious smile I think I'd ever seen. And when we do find it, you will go with me, won't you, Ayumi? I closed my eyes and gave something like a half-hearted half nod, lowering my head without raising it again. It was interpreted as a yes, but I'm not sure I mean it that way. Good. That being the case, it's on me today. Aiko got up and grabbed the check. No, I'll pay for mine. I took out my wallet. I had no desire to owe this person anything. Aiko just smiled. Dutch it is, Ben. Heh. Oh yes, I almost forgot. I'd like you to have this. Aiko handed her thoughtograph to me. Okay. Now, it's not going to bite you. And I'm not asking any money for it, so please, just take it with my blessing. Holy shit, we're done talking. I despise her. Me too. Suzumoto, Shinohara, Morishige, and Miss Yui. As soon as I'm done with those four, I'm breaking this stone. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Better make sure to break the other one, though, too, while we're at it. As if he'd been waiting for the cue, Kishinuma pulled the other stone from his pocket. Kishinuma? She doesn't know what it's like in that school. I mean, she was actually getting excited from going there, so I helped myself when she was looking. Kishinuma, that's amazing. You're terrible. Hey, serious business calls for serious action. Though, Shinozaki, I don't know how to say this exactly, but about the whole resurrection thing, the whole situation with Suzumoto and the others should probably just be left alone, don't you think? You've gone through so much already, and have come really close to dying, and I don't think any of them, not Suzumoto, Miss Yui, Shinohara, or Morishige, would want that. But that might not be true. Damn it. Shinozaki, just stop. Do you know how much Satoshi and Nakashima have been worried about you? I'm sorry. But Kishinuma, please, you have to understand. I just need a little more. I need you to rumor me for just a little bit longer, okay? Humor. God damn it, it's humor. Why do I keep saying rumor? Please, just let me do this. Fine, but listen, you're not doing it alone. I'm going to keep one of the stones. Okay. It'll be all right, you know. I turned my gaze up to meet Kishinuma's. My eyes must have looked like Suckers' windows into a mind full of worries, ideas and fears speared by this unexpected turn of event. If anything happens, don't hesitate to call me, okay? I'm here for you, and I don't want you blindly rushing into dangerous situations like you did yesterday. I may not be able to offer much, but I'm confident I can at least protect you from harm. Kishinuma planted me on the head, reassuring as he said this, and I had no idea how to react. I felt warm and safe, but also a little annoyed, much like a younger sister being simultaneously comforted and scolded by her big brother. All I could say in response was, "Oh, okay." I could feel my eyes still bulging from my head, opening as far as my eyelids would allow. I imagined how I must have appeared to Kishinuma, and was momentarily embarrassed. Come on, now. Let's go, let's get you home. Okay. He's late, seriously. What is he thinking? That boy needs a boot to the head, I swear. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. I don't need anything right now. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. Ready to head home? Not just yet. I'm gonna end the video here. Oh, I mean, well, alright, let's just know if you're good to go. Alright, I think I'm gonna end the video here. And we'll play the game. I don't know when, to be honest with you. I do not know when we're gonna play the game. Hopefully the next episode. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to become a legend. I'll see you guys on the next episode. I'm GMJ. Peace out. I knew where to find the Book of Shadows. I needed to get my hands on it again. You're seriously going to look for that Book of Shadows? Your lack of sense never ceased to amaze me. Where the hell did he come from? Huh? Gasp. Eek!